everyone, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and funny enough, I was going to wait a month to do this, but we're going to review John Wick 2 today. So, I saw the movie literally right before reviewing the first one for you guys. So I figured while it's fresh in my head, I might as well still talk about it. I honestly, this is my favorite of the John Wick movies. I think the action is phenomenal. The humor in it, if it is supposed to be humor, is also phenomenal. And just the acting's top notch, and the story is great. So, with that, let's get into it. The movie's like 7 years old, so we're able to talk about it without a spoiler warning. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it right now. But yeah, so this picks up basically right after the first movie. John goes to get his car. In this, he takes out the entire Russian cartel in the building, leaves the leader alive, but we get like the whole backstory again of like how scary he is, how he took out 3 people in a bar with a pencil, stuff like that. And actually we get, I forgot the actor's name, but he's in She-Hulk, The Incredible Hulk, and Jurassic Park Lost World. He is the Russian guy that John spares, but John literally kills all of his henchmen. He goes, probably one of my favorite kills in the movie is he runs over a guy, and as the guy's tumbling over the car, he's just shooting on top of the hood to take out the guy, which ties into my favorite part of John Wick 4, where he picks up the gun from the car. But yeah, no, and after that he goes home and spends a little time with his new dog that does not have a name. But then a guy from the Italian portion of organized crime shows up to ask John for a favor. Now, the whole reason that he's asking John for a favor is because John owes him. We get introduced to the second rule of basically a blood debt, that you cannot... The first rule being you can't kill on continental grounds. The second rule now being that you cannot turn down a blood debt. So John tries to convince him not to do it, but he ends up kind of forcing him. Well, I mean, he has to anyways. So John is sent to kill Santino's sister. The guy's name is Santino, who is at what we are now introduced to as the High Table, which is basically the head of all organized crime. So he's sent to kill her so Santino can get a seat at the High Table. He doesn't want to do it because she's his friend, and also Santino doesn't seem to be that stable of a person / good of a leader. So John ends up going to do it, but the woman ends up ending her own life, so John really doesn't have to do it, but he still puts a bullet in her just to prove that he did it. In this, we get a big chase scene in Italy, in the Colosseum, actually, I believe. Yeah, and we get kind of introduced to a minor villain in this, known as Charon, along with another minor villain known as... Or not Charon, sorry. Charon's the clerk, who John leaves the dog with. Cassian. I knew it started with a C. Cassian, we also get introduced to another one who is a mute girl named Ares. Ares is working for Santino. Charon was the sister... Cassian was the sister's bodyguard, so he wants revenge on John, while Ares is trying to tie up loose ends for Santino. So there's now a bounty on John yet again that he has to fight through, and we also get introduced to the Bowery King, played by Lawrence Fishburne, who is the best character in the entire series, and has my favorite line in the movie of they're looking at John's current bounty, which was $7 million, and he goes, "Damn! It's Christmas. We're going to Applebee's after this." Which is my favorite line, and I've been quoting that ever since I rewatched this movie. We also get this really cool, like, collage scene of, like, everybody trying to attack John. Uh, and, like, it's done out of order, but he finishes everybody basically around the same time. And we get to see, like, the pencil death. He fights this big giant sumo guy, fights a bunch of violinist and a bunch of other people. But yeah, so then he goes to Santino's museum, where he goes to proceed to try to kill him. Santino is in this, like, mirror art display room where John has to fight a bunch of guys in it. So we get some really cool scenes of, like, fake outs of where people are and stuff like that. John finishes everybody off, obviously, and beats Ares, and then goes after Santino, who is hiding in the Continental. So John walks in and breaks the first rule. I remember the first time I saw that, I went, oh no. Like, literally, that was my reaction, was just going, oh no. Because I knew exactly what that meant. Was John was now excommunicado. Which sets up the third movie. We also see that Winston let John kind of have a run for his money because he cares about him. But then that sets up for Chapter 3, Parabellum, which we might do next week, we might not. I kind of also pushed this one because I was very busy this week. So I was like, let's just do the movie that I recently watched. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me which John Wick's your favorite. And have an amazing day. It's that Nerd Ryan, signing off.